Okay, it's time for another video project. I was sitting in the house going through magazine, New Cowboy and Indians magazine, and came across a photo, this one right here, of two mountain men going down a river. This is by Vic Payne, the sculptor. And Judy and I saw this one out in Santa Fe, quite a few years ago when it was still in the clay in one of the galleries. They hadn't been cast yet. And Vic had built the entire canoe, not out of clay, but just modeled it out of, I can't remember whether he did it out of rawhide or wood, but anyway, he built this canoe and then he added the figures and the interior of the canoe and the base. So I've built canoes before for scenes that I've done. If you look on the pictures I've enclosed with this post, you can see some of the ones I've done. So I thought that would be a terrific project and would make a very impressive carving. So anyway, I thought that's what we'd do, is start off building a canoe. Now here's a little canoe I made a long time ago for a scene that just never came about. But anyway, it would take a very small figure in here, and I don't like working in a small scale so much anymore. So we're going to work into a bigger scale. Now I ordered me a mannequin, and this is a new mannequin. It's only been out for a short period of time. I can't remember the place I ordered it from, but anyway, I'll put that in the post here so you can get one if you want. But this one here, unlike those wooden mannequins, you can bend this one to pretty much an exact shape of what a figure would be, although his chest seems a little large. But I'm going to be working in caricature. I just want the pose and basically the size, okay? And this is the size of the figure that I want. So, if you look down here now, I've laid out my canoe on a big piece of paper, and this guy, when it's done, will sit towards the back and have his load up front, just one figure, not two. So this is just about the size that I want. And the reason I laid it out at this size is because I bought some of this, looks like half-inch basswood from Heineke, good stuff. And I laid it on here, drew my lines, and then drew my canoe to fit. So this canoe, it's a big one. It is 22 inches long by 5 3/4 wide, okay? So, first thing I'm going to do is ask Judy to help me here just a second. I've got me a piece of 2x4 here, and this is going to be my gluing block. And when I bend this, I want Judy to take a pencil and draw an outside line, just like that. Okay, now we'll just do the same on the other side. Okay. Well, now I know why I'm the wood carver and Judy's the videographer. Okay, so I got that now. Now I'm going to go over to the bandsaw and cut this shape out. You don't need to see that. You've seen me bandsaw stuff before. Okay, I got my shape cut out here. I've got my figure sitting on there. This is the bottom. This is basically going to be the bottom of the canoe, although we're not going to use this piece of wood. This is just to help us glue up the outer parts, okay? So, that's all right. So we'll just set that aside, And now, I'm going to take this board, and I'm going to go out, and on my planer, I'm going to plane it down to probably about half, or maybe even less than half the size of this right here. Maybe more than half. It just depends on what it looks like when I get there. I'll know that when I get there. So if you don't have this, you can go down to Hobby Lobby. They sell thin basswood down there. Just go back there in the back where the hobby wood section is, and you'll see some thin basswood. You might not be able to make your canoe this size, but you will be able to find some thin basswood where you will be able to make a canoe using that wood, because that's what I used when I made that other basswood, or made the other canoe, okay? So now we're going to go out to my planer and plane this down. Okay, I'm out here at my planer. Now I know most of you probably don't have one of these. That's why I told you to go down to Hobby Lobby and buy it. If you have one of these or have a friend who has one of these, you're in luck. Anyway, I won't show you that I'm going down all the way with this thing. I'll just take a pass off and then we'll come back and I'll show you how thin I took it down, okay? Board down. This is about 3/16 inch thickness now. I hope it's thin enough. My planer wouldn't go any thinner than that. But I'll need that thickness to make the gunnels, I think you call them. It's part of, right around here, this ridge. So I drew my pattern out on my board, being as both sides are the same. What I'm going to do now is take these over and cut them out. And wouldn't you know it, I've never been bothered to check, one side, one piece, is not as wide as the back piece. It's crazy, huh? I'm going to have a talk with those Heineken boys. Okay, I'm going to go cut this out on the bandsaw, and again, I don't think you need to see me do that. Okay, we got our two parts here. Now notice I didn't cut out that little thing right there, because if I did, that thing, that little knob right there, would bust off immediately, so I'm just leaving that on. I'll carve that on later. But experimenting around with this thing, I noticed one thing. I wish I would have got this wood just a little smaller if I could. But anyway, the next thing we have to do is to bend this around that form there. And because the wood's a little thicker than I thought it was, I'm going to have to steam it. So that's the next project. So we'll see if we can't go get that done. Okay, I'm taking my two pieces out. You can see they're hot. They've been cooking in the microwave. I wrapped them in a wet paper towel. Whew, that is hot stuff. And they are pliable. Okay, so here's what we're going to do real quickly. Probably have to have Judy help me. That little fella. Maybe just do one in first. Mine needs
other one isn't together.
Lots of clamps. See? It's not together.
I don't even know if they can see that. No, they can't.
Okay, I'm gonna have to prop this clamp up, otherwise the weight of the clamp.
Why don't you use a smaller one?
No,
Got a smaller one.
it's good. Oh, I'll lose my glue. Give me the little figure.
Sorry, he fell.
You fell. You just have to wait and see. I'll get that. Okay, now we're just going to have to wait until this thing is dry. I got to wipe up my glue here, and we'll see what happened. Okay, so in the next video we'll continue on.